Welcome back, it's Jason Walty here. According to a new report from Redfin, luxury home sales have been tanking compared to 1 year ago. According to them, luxury home sales tanked 18% compared to 1 year ago. So that's the topic of today's video. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right in because I have a lot to go over today. This was posted on the 10th of June. It says the luxury housing market, which experienced, of course, a big surge last year, is coming back down to earth amid a slumping stock market, rising mortgage rates, and economic uncertainty. Regarding a slumping stock market, take a look at this. Year to date, the NASDAQ is down 32% at the time of this video. And of course, a lot of people buying luxury homes are using the stock market in order to fund those purchases. So it goes on to say the following in this report here. Sales of luxury houses in the US fell 17.8% year over year during the 3 months ending April 30th, the largest drop since its onset of the pandemic. There are only 2 instances in the past decade where we have seen steeper declines. The 3 months ending June 30th of 2020, that was just basically at the onset of the pandemic, and the 3 months ending May 31st, 2020. So here's a graphic depiction showing luxury home sales compared to non-luxury home sales. So again, luxury home sales decreased by 17.8%, and also compared to non-luxury homes, we have a decrease of 5.4% in the number of home sales for non-luxury houses. So in other words, we're seeing a much bigger decline in luxury home sales compared to non-luxury home sales. And by the way, this report defines luxury houses as those estimated to be in the top 5% based on market value for that certain area, and non-luxury houses as those estimated to be in the 35th to 65th percentile based on market value. They're also calculating market value based on Redfin's estimates. It goes on to say the following in this report here. The luxury market is cooling as soaring mortgage rates, a tepid stock market, in other words, a declining stock market, inflation and economic certainty put a damper on demand. Also, for a luxury home buyer, a higher mortgage rate can mean a monthly housing bill that's thousands of dollars more expensive. To give you some context regarding that, for a $400,000 house, if you want to compare a housing payment at the beginning of this year compared to now, it's going to cost home buyers an extra $550 more per month to buy that same $400,000 house now compared to the start of this year. Obviously, when we're talking about luxury home sales, that delta is going to be far greater. And Redfin goes on to say the following here. The growth in luxury home sales began to slow in the spring and summer months of 2021, and that was amid an extreme shortage of houses for sale on the high end of the market. This shortage was driven by a spike in interest from wealthy remote workers looking to escape urban areas during the pandemic and take advantage of low mortgage rates. Also, according to an agent based in West Palm Beach, Florida, she had this to say. The pool of people qualified to purchase luxury properties is sinking because the stock market is falling and mortgage rates are rising. The market is becoming more balanced and competition is easing up. However, some have been priced out altogether. So in regards to rising mortgage rates for luxury home buyers, obviously some use cash in order to buy luxury properties, but the vast majority of those using loans to buy luxury properties are using what's called jumbo loans. And just like non-jumbo loans, mortgage rates have been increasing greatly as well for jumbo. So according to the Mortgage News Daily, as of today, which is the 13th of June, the average right now for a jumbo loan is 5.05%. As you can see here, 1 year ago, we were at 3.12%. So basically, compared to 1 year ago, we have a gain of about 2 percentage points, which is actually less than a 30-year fixed for conforming loan balances. For 30-year fixed conforming loan balances, meaning not jumbo, we have an increase of about 3 percentage points compared to 1 year ago. But in any case, because jumbo loan rates have been increasing, that's decreasing buying demand for luxury home properties. And here's an interesting example about how this is affecting luxury home buyers. According to this agent here that's based again in West Palm Beach, Florida, she said, I had one seller in Delray who went under contract on their home for over $2 million in March, right in the middle of the interest rate hike. The buyers backed out because they realized their mortgage payment would rise by more than $3,000 per month with the higher mortgage rate. They could no longer afford the house comfortably. 2 months later, they came back and went under contract on the same house once again for $300,000 less after the seller put the house back on the market at a lower price. So in other words, they had some newfound interest in this property, given that the house was actually $300,000 less, which helps offset the increase in mortgage rates. Okay, let's talk about home prices for luxury homes across United States here. So the median sale price of luxury houses across the US rose 19.8% year over year to a median sold price of $1.15 million during the 3 months ending April 30th of this year. That's roughly the same growth for non-luxury houses, by the way. And while that's still above pre-pandemic levels of less than 10%, so the average pre-COVID was a gain of 10% year over year for luxury home prices, it's still down from the peak of 27.5% that we saw in the spring months of 2021. As you can see here, this is the growth in luxury home prices ever since 2013 approximately. So ever since 2014 more or less, luxury home prices have declined through 2016. They started to increase then and then fell again once again through 2019. And then of course we had the stay-at-home orders, the Fed decreased the federal funds rate to 0%. We saw record low mortgage rates, and that caused luxury home sales or luxury home prices to increase by 27.5%. So even though we have an increase by 19.8% right now, it's still well above historical levels, but still well above the peak we saw in the spring of 2021. And therefore, price growth has slowed as demand has cooled and the housing market shortage has eased. So one thing that's impacting current home buyers, whether you're a luxury home buyer or a non-luxury home buyer, is rising property taxes. This is especially true for luxury home buyers because in my marketplace, which of course is in Sacramento, our average property tax based on the tax assessed value is 1.25%. So if you're buying a $1 million house in the greater Sacramento area, your property taxes are going to be approximately $12,500 per month. However, every market's different though, right? In Texas, property taxes are much, much higher. And of course, that's going to be affecting home buyer demand as well. Okay, let's talk about housing supply for luxury houses across the United States here. The supply of luxury homes for sale fell 12.4% year over year during the 3 months ending April 30th. However, that's quite a bit lower than the record decline of 24.6% during the summer months of 2021. As you can see here, here's housing supply ever since 2013, or the year-over-year change in active listings for luxury homes. Right now, a decrease by 12.4%. Non-luxury houses, a decrease by 8.4%. But when you look at this. In the summer months of 2021, we had a decrease of 25.6% because we saw strong buying demand for luxury home sales back in that time frame. So let's take a look at the 50 most populous U.S. metro areas across the United States regarding home sales, prices, new listings, and housing supply. So for home sales, luxury home sales fell in all but one of the top 50 metros. The only increase was in New York by 30%. Meanwhile, for prices, the median sale price for luxury houses across the United States, or for these 50 most populous areas in the US, rose in all of the 50 metros. So every single metro had an increase in home prices for luxury houses compared to 1 year ago. It actually increased the most in Tampa, Florida, a 33.0% increase year over year, followed by San Diego, Jacksonville, Florida, Nashville, and Fort Worth, Texas. In contrast, though, it climbed the least in St. Louis, only increased by 5.5% there. New listings of luxury houses across the United States increased in 16 of the top 50 metros. The biggest gain in the number of new listings was actually in Warren, Michigan, a 32.2% increase year over year. The biggest declines were actually in Oakland, 28.4% decline. Also, other areas in the Bay Area, San Francisco and San Jose, for example, both declining by about 23 to 25%. Active listings of luxury houses dropped in all but 5 of the top 50 metros. So we're seeing a big decrease in the number of houses for sale for luxury houses in most markets across the United States here. The biggest declines were in Anaheim, which is basically in Los Angeles. It decreased by 38.7% from 1 year ago. That was followed by Los Angeles, Miami, San Jose, and also in Oakland. The metros that saw the biggest increases was actually in San Antonio, Texas, increase of housing supply year over year by 22.4%. Now here's some other metros I also want to bring to your attention regarding home prices. So here's the home prices for the 3 months ending April 30th, 2022. Here, have a look at this. So for Los Angeles, the median sold price for a luxury house in Los Angeles, $3.6 million, a 16.5% increase year over year regarding the median sale price there in that marketplace. Nassau County, which is in New York, $2.5 million, a gain of 15%. New York, median sold price $4 million, a gain of only 11%. However, a gain of 10% for a $4 million house is a gain of $400,000, which coincidentally is a median sold price for all houses across the United States. So pretty remarkable, a small increase, but a big price tag there. Oakland, 3.2 million. Look at that, 28.3% increase. So basically in Oakland, home prices there for luxury houses have increased approximately almost $1 million. Also in Sacramento, where I live and work as a real estate agent, our median luxury home price here in Sacramento area at 1.55 million. That's an increase by 19.2% in home prices from 1 year ago. San Diego at 3.2 million, San Francisco $5.5 million, San Jose $4.9 million, a 21.5% increase, and Seattle, Washington $2.7 million, a giant increase of 25% compared to 1 year ago. Also in West Palm Beach, Florida, $2.6 million is the median sold price for luxury houses there, and that's a gain of 21% from 1 year ago. So comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you got any value out of this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.